Can you say hello? Can you say hello, everybody? Well, it's 1 o'clock in Houston, Texas. It's Wednesday, and that's usually when I do my mini lesson. So, the mini lesson today is called Naming All the Notes on the Fretboard. We're going to talk about it. But before that, and I thought I would introduce my dog, Miles. He's been with me here before on our mini lessons. But today it's a special day because it is National Dog Day. It is, let's see, August 26th, 2026. And on August 26th, we celebrate National Dog Day. So this is my dog. I don't know how national he is, but he's my current dog anyway. And in honor of my dogs of the past, two of which I have pictured right here, Max and Leilani. All tribute to them too, because sometimes dogs can be our best friends, at least animal friends. Okay, so I don't know how much of a help Miles is going to be to me today, so he'll sit here for another minute while I explain what's going to happen. Have you ever seen, well, okay, first of all, last week I released a bunch of videos containing the jazz audition pieces for the Texas All-State Jazz Band. And maybe you don't live in Texas, and maybe you don't even like jazz, but that's okay. You play the guitar, and that's probably why you're here right now. And so maybe you already know how to read all the notes, and maybe you don't. That's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to let Miles get down at this point. Thank you for helping me introduce the podcast for today, buddy. All right. So we are going to learn how to read, name. We are going to learn to name all the notes on the fretboard. Here's the fretboard, so you will be able to name the notes, all of them, starting with the open strings right down here, all the way up to the last fret. And if you wanted to find other notes too, you could do that once you find the E. Anyway, so have you ever seen those videos before that say, I can teach you how to read all the notes or how to name all the notes on the fretboard in 15 minutes or less? Well, I can do that too, and we're going to do it right now. Now, will you, after this 15-minute lesson is over, will you be able to sit down and say, okay, here's all the notes? Maybe not, because you'll need to practice with the techniques that I give you. And that's the same catch with the people who say, I can teach you how to read all the notes in 15 minutes. All right, so let's do it. The first thing you have to do is memorize the open strings. I bet you've all done that already, haven't you? But if you haven't, we're going to go this way. And you know why we're going to go this way? I'll tell you why. Because if you buy a set of strings and you want to put the strings on, they're going to call this one string 1. So we're going to start with string 1, okay? This is E. E, A, G, D, A, E. Easter bunnies go dancing at Easter. Okay, dumb sentence, but there you go. That's the first thing you learned. The string names. E, B, G, D, A, E. Easter bunnies go dancing at Easter. Okay, now the next thing you need to know is this. I got this from one of my friends, but he says it works. E, F, B, C. E, F, B, C. Okay? So can you just play that and repeat it about 100 times? But you'll do that on your own time. For us right now, we'll do it maybe 5 times. E, F, B, C, E, F, B, C, E, F, B, C, E, F, B, C. All right, you'll have to remember that, okay? And those are the only 2 natural half steps, E, F, B, C. Wherever they occur, they are natural half steps. So this is an E, this is an F. If we continue up the string, everything else, that's a natural note. That means we're not saying sharp or flat after it. So we're not saying F sharp. We're just saying F, E, F, okay? So the rest of the notes from there are all whole steps, okay? E, F, so G is a whole step away. A, the next one is a whole step away. A to B is a whole step away. But what happens here? It is B, C, right? E, F, B, C, E, F, B, C. So B, C will be right beside each other. That's only a half step. C to D is a whole step. D to E is a whole step. What happens at EF? It's this, right? If it's EF, doesn't matter where it happens, it's a half step. Okay? So now we can name all the notes on the first string because we know EF and BC will have no fret in between and all the other ones will. Okay? E, F, G, A. B, C, because it's BC, C, D, E, F, half step, G, A, B, C, another half step. So you just named all the notes on the first string from open to there's no more frets. Okay? So we can do this on any string now. Know what the strings are, right? So let's randomly pick one. We can make a little game out of it if you want. We don't really need a game, which is handy because maybe I can't find. Oh, yeah, here we go. I need a die. No, I don't need to die. I need a die. There you go. There's one. Okay, first string. We already did that one. We could just move on to the second string to make it easy, but we like to have fun sometimes, right? So drop the die. Okay, string 3. That's what came up. So we're going to do 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, what did I tell you? Easter bunnies go. Okay, so this is a G. Now, is G, E, F, or B, C? No, it isn't. So that means if the next thing after G in the musical alphabet is an A, that means it's in the second fret. G, A, B. That's a whole step. But what happens with B? B, C, remember E, F, B, C? Well, that's B, C, so that's a half step. That's B and that's C. C, D, D, E. What happens with E, F? That's why you have to keep saying this. E, F, B, C, E, F, B, C. So when you come up here and it's an E, you're going to know it's E, F. E, F, F, G, G, A, B, B, C. Another one of those special ones. C, D, and D, we have a D sharp, but no E. We run out of frets on this guitar anyway. All right. So are you getting the drift? I mean, we've only been talking for 7 minutes and 26 seconds, and you already know the secret to find the names of all the notes on the fretboard. Now, let's see. What string should we do next? It says string 5. What's the name of string 5? Easter bunnies go dancing at. Oh, what do you know? It's an A. So here's A. What's the next note? B. And it's a whole step because it's not B, C, or E, F. But what is this? That's B, C. So it's a half step. A, B, C, C, D is a whole step. D, E is a whole step. What happens with E, F? E, F is one of those. So it's a half step. F, G, G, A, B. What happens at B, C? It's another half step. C, D, D, E. E, F is a half step. So you just named all the notes on string 5. And we did it in about 2 seconds. That was cool, right? Okay, so I hope at this point you've got the gist of it. So we're going to come back to this in just a minute. I want to talk about something else that is a little bit more difficult, and I can't teach you the whole thing in 5 minutes or 15 minutes. But I will try to give you an overview in 15 minutes, and then we're going to come back with all the time we have left and find more notes, okay? Now, this is something that I made. No, I didn't. My husband made it, actually, for my students. It's like we talked about it, and I talked about it with some other teachers, and somebody decided it would be a good idea. And my husband, I didn't even ask him. He just sat down at the computer and he made these. And all they are is note cards. Okay? They are made especially for the guitar. And you know how you can tell that? Because the answer's on the back. Now, how can you get these? You have to write to me. I used to have some dealers that carried them. And they might still. I don't know. I haven't heard from them in a while, so maybe they are, maybe they're not. But I have a bunch. You want them, you can get them. In fact, these are so cool that I was using them with my students. And I told my students, if you can name all these notes in first position. So we weren't going all the way up the neck. We were just doing first position, and they had to recognize the note and play it. That if you could do that in 1 minute, I would put your name on the 1 Minute Club plaque. So one time, one of my students heaved a sigh when I said, "Listen, buddy, you're way far enough along to be able to do this. Just kick it into gear a little bit, study these cards, and let's bring it home. Let's get you in the 1 Minute Club." He made a heavy sigh and said, "You should make a Facebook." He was 10 years old. Okay. He made a heavy sigh. "You should make a Facebook group for the 1 Minute Club." So guess what? I did it just for him. And he is in the 1 Minute Club. And in fact, he's a grown man at this point. But anyway, so yeah, these are cards, and they only cover first position. They put like if we had an F sharp, the F sharp, well, here's a D sharp. How about that? A D is your finger on the first string, third fret. D sharp would be the fourth fret. And it has the E flat, which is its other name. Have you ever looked at a piano keyboard? Because on a piano keyboard, you see white keys and black keys. And all of the white keys have a black key in between, except for two. Guess which ones they are? I'll give you a hint. It's E and F and B and C. There's no accidental in the middle. It's just E to F, B to C. So we don't have a card for that. And the rest of them do have. That would be where there's no black key on the keyboard. And so anyway, and we also have these, which you can look at the fingering and tell me what note that is. That's a G sharp. You know how you can tell? There's the answer. All right. So these are very cool to have. And what we do to take it a step further is put this on the floor. This came from these. And I just laminated them all together. So it looks like a big guitar sitting on the floor. And you would have to put the card where it goes. This is a D sharp. D is on the second string. This is B, C, C sharp, D. So this is D sharp right there. Anyway, there is a Facebook group for the 1 Minute Club, and I'm going to give you the link to it as well. And down below this screen, the link to the 1 Minute Club, just so you can kind of look and see people actually reading notes from these cards. But then I'm also going to give you a link on what to do with the cards if you're interested. But even if you're not interested in the cards at all, which is fine, they can help you get faster at reading notes. But so can this. Learning all the names of them makes it a little easier to pick up the way they look and be able to read them as well. So we're going to go back with our game and see what we can do. Do you remember what the names are? Of course you do. You've known that for years, right? Easter bunnies go dancing at Easter. So what string now? Oh, we've got the first string. So easy. We did that one already, but let's review it. This is an E. Where's the F? Come on, tell me. It's only a half step, right? E, F, F, G, G, A. And these are all whole steps. So that means there's a fret in between A, B. But what's happening here? Is there a fret in between? Nope, that's B, C. But now we need a fret in between C and D. And we need a fret in between D and E. E and F, no. E, F, B, C, E, F, B, C, E, F, B, C. That's your homework tonight, E, F, B, C. And find your way up all these strings. Whenever you find an E, F, and B, C, if you practice that a lot, you will pick this up quickly. And maybe you don't know where they are on the paper, but you will know where they are under your fingers. And that does make life easier and more convenient. We have time for one more. We did the fifth string already. Let's get another one. Sixth string. This is another factoid I forgot to give you. E. and E are the same names. Obviously 2 octaves apart, but E, F, E, F, E, F, E, F. So E, F, B, C, B, C, E, F, E, F, B, C. Just keep telling yourself, okay, E, F, G is 2 frets, G to A is 2 frets, A to B is 2 frets, B to C. C, D, 2 frets, E to F, 2 frets, D to E, and then E to F is only 1 fret. So now the next step, perhaps we can talk about this in the next lesson, continuing note naming, okay, is to name them all the way across. So this is E, B, G, D, A, E. What is this? A, B, C, E, D, A. So that might be another step to go on, and that would make you be able to start naming things within the positions, which would be the next step. So, okay, there you go. You pat yourself on the back, because if you practice this EFBC thing and you remember the names of the strings, you will be able to find notes all the way up and down the neck, and you learned it in 15 minutes or less. Happy Dog Day to you, and I hope to see you soon on another one of our mini lessons here on Andrea Cannon Guitar at YouTube. See you soon. Have a great day and a great weekend. Bye-bye.